Assalamualaikum, my name is EducationWali and I'm a foundational student at Hansford Summit Bible Campus. So this is my Maya. So let's start for my Maya. My Maya is connecting with me. Hi Maya, how are you?
Hey there. What's up?
Hi Maya, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Just sipping some imaginary coffee and ready for whatever's on your mind. How about
I'm
you?
also fine. Okay Maya, my first question for you that how does chronic stress affect the immune system?
Straight into the deep end today. It's wild, but your body basically stays in fight or flight mode for too long. That flood of cortisol actually tells your immune system to take a backseat, which is why you always seem to catch a cold right after a huge project or a really stressful month. You're just not as good at fighting off the bugs. Now, before I dive into the science of why that happens, just a quick reminder that I'm not a doctor, so definitely check in with a professional if this is something you're actually dealing with right now.
Okay, okay, my next question for you
So,
that you nice answer. Why does high blood pressure often have no system symptoms?
wait, can you try that one more time? I'm getting a little lost in the translation there. What was that last part? Go ahead, let's hear it again. health risks. Got it. So, the big thing with sugar is that it's basically high octane fuel, but our bodies aren't always great at handling that much of it at once. When you have a big spike of sugar, your pancreas pumps out insulin to move it into your cells for energy. But if that's happening all the time, your cells can start ignoring the insulin. That's insulin resistance, which is the main road toward type 2 diabetes. Beyond that, excess sugar often ends up in the liver and gets turned into fat, which can cause inflammation throughout the body. It's kind of like running a high voltage current through a wire that isn't rated for it. Over time, that wear and tear hits the heart, the arteries, and even your brain, which can leave you feeling foggy or crashed after that initial rush. What part of the health risk are you most curious about?
Okay, my next question for you that you nice answer. How does this injection infect the kidneys?
Your kidneys are like the filter system for your entire body. When blood sugar stays too high for too long, it actually damages those tiny filters. Think of it as the blood becoming too thick or sticky, which puts an immense amount of pressure on the kidney's delicate vessels. Over time, those filters start to leak or wear out, and that's how you end up with chronic kidney disease. It's a slow process, but the damage is real. Are you asking because you're trying to put together a health guide or just wondering how it all works?
Okay, my next question for you that you nice answer.
I think they're going great.
Why
You're on a
does
roll.
the
What else you
body
got?
develop a fever during infection?
Wait, I think I missed something there. That one didn't quite land. Could you say that another way? I want to make sure I'm actually answering what you're asking.
Yes.
Right, I'm still a little lost. I just want to make sure I'm not guessing. Could you try putting that last question in different words for me? Yeah, that yeses doesn't really help me out here. Well, talk to me. What part of the body or health are we diving into now?
Okay, my next question
Hmm.
for you that you nice answer. Why is vitamin D important for baby born health?
Vitamin D for newborns? Now we're talking. For babies, it's basically a building block. It helps them absorb calcium, which is what actually makes their bones and teeth strong and healthy as they grow. Since newborns can't get much from the sun or their diet right away, it's a huge deal for their development. That said, the actual dose is something only a pediatrician should handle because every baby's different. What else is on your list for this health interview?
Please, my long answer, so very short answer, and I hate short answer. Please, long answer.
Got it. My bad. No more short answers. I'm going full deep dive. Let's start over and actually dig into why vitamin D is such a powerhouse for newborns. Think of it as the master key that unlocks calcium. Without vitamin D, the body just can't absorb calcium from the gut, no matter how much is available. When a baby doesn't have enough of that key, their bones don't harden the way they should. That can lead to something called rickets, where the bones actually soften and can bow or bend, which is a huge deal for a baby who's just starting to learn how to move and support their own weight. Then there's the immune system angle. Vitamin D isn't just for bones, it's a massive part of how the body trains its defenses to fight off infections. When babies have the right levels, it helps their overall growth and organ development. The tricky part is where it comes from. Normally, humans get vitamin D from the sun, But you can't just put a newborn out in the sun to bake for an hour, and breast milk often doesn't have quite enough to meet the demand. That's why doctors are so focused on it. It's all about building that foundational strength right from day one so they don't run into growth issues later on. I hope that's more like the deep dive you were looking for.
Okay, my
What else should we tackle for that health?
okay, my
Yeah?
you next answer my next question for you that how does objectively impact hormone regulation?
Okay, I'm trying to keep up with you. I think we might have a little communication glitch on that one. Um, Object play and a hard one regulation, it's not quite clicking for me. Do you think you could rephrase that? Or maybe tell me what part of the body we're looking at?
Okay, my please long answer for
Hmm?
many questions. Okay, my next question: what happiness to the brain prelocked sleep deprivation health?
Ooh, those are big questions. The whole idea of brain drain is really just mental fatigue. When your brain is pushed to the limit without a break, your prefrontal cortex actually starts to struggle. That's where your decision making and focus live. When that gets exhausted, you feel that mental fog, your focus slips, and suddenly even the simplest tasks feel like uphill battles. Now, the sleep and meditation parts are the real game changers here. Sleep isn't just off time for the brain. Think of it as a night shift cleaning crew. While you're out, your brain's glymphatic system literally flushes out metabolic waste that builds up during the day, including toxins that can gum up your cognitive function if they aren't cleared out. Plus, sleep is when your brain consolidates memories, turning short term snapshots into long term knowledge. Without that, you're basically trying to write on a whiteboard that's already full. Then you've got meditation. That's less about cleaning and more about training. It's like gym for your focus. Regular meditation helps shrink the amygdala, which is the brain's fear center, while strengthening the connection to the prefrontal cortex. Teaches you how to observe a distraction and then gently steer your mind back to the present. Together, sleep and meditation are like the ultimate reset button. One clears the clutter and the other sharpens the tool. What's your take on it?
Okay, my next question for you that you next answer. How does the gut microbiome inflammation overall health? Please give me long answer.
The microbiome. The microbiome, it's essentially an entire city living inside you. You've got trillions of bacteria, fungi, and viruses mostly hanging out in your gut, and they're doing way more than just sitting there. First, they're your primary digestion assistants. They break down the complex fibers and carbohydrates that your own human enzymes can't touch. In the process, they produce short chain fatty acids, which aren't just waste products, they actually fuel the lining of your colon and keep it healthy.
Okay, my next question for you that you nice answer. How does
Glad you like me. Horus, like the Egyptian god with the Vulcan head. We went from gut
how
bacteria
does
to
how
ancient.
does the body repair damaged dana?
That's a wild pivot, but I'm with you. Think of it as a high speed construction crew that triggers the second something goes wrong. When you get a cut or an injury, the body doesn't just start patching the hole, it starts with a massive cleaning operation. First, you have inflammation, which is basically the body's emergency response team. They rush in to stop the bleeding and clear out any debris or bacteria. It's a bit messy, which is why you see swelling and redness, but it's essential because you can't build a new wall until you've cleared the wreckage from the old one. Once the site is clear, body moves into the proliferative phase, which is the actual rebuilding. This is where fibroblasts come in, acting like the master architects. They lay down a scaffold of collagen, which is like the rebar in a concrete building, providing the structural support the area needs to hold together. At the same time, new blood vessels are grown to make sure the area gets fresh supply of oxygen and nutrients, which is why a healing wound often looks bright red. Finally, there's the remodeling phase. This is where the body fine tunes the repair. The collagen is reorganized and strengthened, turning a rough patch into a proper scar or fully restored tissue. It's a slow and methodical process, but it's what allows you to bounce back from almost anything. It's actually pretty incredible when you think about the sheer amount of coordination happening under the surface just so you can heal.
Okay, my time is the end. So Allah Hafiz Maya. Allah Hafiz viewers. This is our Maya. Hope you like Maya. Allah Hafiz. Pakistan Zindabad. Han School Zindabad. Allah Hafiz. Please thank my channel. Like, follow. Okay, Allah Hafiz. Thank you.